You think you want the truth. Everyone says they do. We chase it, demand it, even fight for it. But what if I told you that deep inside, your brain doesn't actually want the truth? In fact, it prefers lies. Not only prefers them, it thrives on them, it rewards you for believing them, and it sometimes punishes you for facing reality. That might sound unsettling, but stay with me. Because once you understand why your brain loves lies more than truth, you'll start noticing it everywhere in your life. Let's begin with something simple. Imagine someone tells you that eating chocolate every day makes you live longer. You probably smile just hearing that. Instantly, you want it to be true. You might not even ask for evidence. You might not check the source. And even if you suspect it's nonsense, part of you still clings to the possibility. Why? Because your brain loves the comfort of that lie. It feels good, it feels easy, and it feels rewarding. And that's the secret. Your brain was not built for truth. It was built for survival. Survival often doesn't require accuracy. It requires speed, efficiency, and comfort. The truth is complicated, messy, often painful. Lies, on the other hand, are simple, comforting, and energy-saving. They give you a shortcut, a clean story, a way to avoid the heavy lifting of thinking deeply. So when your brain is presented with a choice, struggle with complexity, or accept a nice, shiny, simple lie, it usually takes the lie. Now here's where it gets even trickier. Believing lies can actually make you feel good. Literally. When you accept a story that makes you comfortable, your brain rewards you with dopamine, the same chemical responsible for pleasure, motivation, even addiction. This is why fake promises, conspiracy theories, and too-good-to-be-true claims spread so fast. It's not just that people are gullible, it's that lies often feel better than the truth. Lies tell us what we want to hear. Truth often tells us what we need to hear. Guess which one the brain picks most of the time? But it goes deeper than that. Have you ever been in a situation where you were confronted with evidence that you were wrong, but instead of accepting it, you doubled down? That uncomfortable tension you felt has a name: cognitive dissonance. It's the brain's desperate attempt to protect your existing beliefs. When the truth threatens your identity, your worldview, or your comfort, the brain panics. It hates being wrong, so what does it do? Instead of adjusting, it often rejects the truth and holds on tighter to the comforting lie. That's why people defend false ideas so passionately, even when evidence is stacked against them. And this isn't just something that happens to other people. It happens to all of us. Think about everyday life. You're on a diet, but you tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow." You're in a relationship that's toxic, but you say, "They'll change for me." You're spending money you don't have, but you whisper, "One more purchase won't hurt." These are lies. You know somewhere deep down that they're not true. But they're easier. They buy you time. They reduce stress. They keep you comfortable. The truth, "I need to take responsibility now," is heavier, scarier, and often painful. So your brain does what it loves most. It shields you with a convenient story. Here's another twist. Lies are often more memorable than truths. Stories spread because they're easy to understand, easy to repeat, and emotionally satisfying. The truth, with its details, uncertainties, and exceptions, is harder to pass on. That's why rumors travel faster than facts. Your brain is wired to pay attention to the emotional punch of the lie rather than the dry complexity of reality. Now you might be wondering, if my brain loves lies so much, am I doomed to live in a comfortable illusion forever? Not necessarily. The first step is awareness. Once you know your brain is biased toward comfort, you can start to question it. Every time you hear something that feels too good to be true, pause. Ask yourself, do I believe this because it's true or because I want it to be true? That small moment of reflection creates space between you and the lie. The second step is learning to tolerate discomfort. Truth is rarely the most comfortable option. It might sting, it might scare you, But in the long run, it saves you from bigger pain. Think of it like exercise. At first, it hurts. Your muscles resist, your body complains. But with time, the pain turns into strength. In the same way, confronting uncomfortable truths builds resilience. Third, surround yourself with environments that reward truth over comfort. People who challenge your assumptions instead of just telling you what you want to hear. Information sources that value accuracy over sensation. Even habits, like journaling or fact-checking, can train your brain to resist the seductive pull of lies. Of course, none of this is easy, because lies don't just come from others, they come from within. We are master storytellers to ourselves. We tell ourselves we're fine when we're not. We tell ourselves we have control when we don't. We tell ourselves things will magically get better even when we take no action. In some ways, these lies protect us. They keep us moving, they soften reality. But if left unchecked, they trap us. They create a bubble where growth is impossible. So ask yourself, what lies am I living with right now? What stories am I telling myself because they feel good, but keep me stuck? Facing those questions is uncomfortable, but it's also liberating, because once you see the pattern, you realize you have a choice: comfort or clarity, illusion or truth. And here's the paradox. Once you choose truth, once you get past the initial sting, you often find a deeper kind of comfort. Not the shallow comfort of lies, but the steady peace of reality. It's like switching from junk food to real nutrition. At first, you crave the sugar, but eventually, you discover the satisfaction of something real, something that actually sustains you. So the next time someone tells you something that feels amazing, something that's exactly what you wanted to hear, pause. Listen to that little voice in the back of your mind. Ask yourself if your brain is trying to seduce you with lies, because most of the time it probably is. And here's the big question I'll leave you with. Would you rather live in a comfortable illusion or an uncomfortable truth that sets you free? The choice isn't easy, but it is yours. And if you think this is unsettling, wait until you discover how your brain can create entire memories of events that never even happened.